How are you?
Good, you?
Doing good. Tired after yesterday. We did a long second half of one of our podcasts. Literally long.
Over an hour.
Yes. And that wasn't even the first part.
First
That was
part.
the second part.
First part was over an hour too.
Yes, we're definitely gonna. We just couldn't get into the flow. So, what are we doing today?
We are on episode 16 of Grim Geography.
Okay.
You like my sweatshirt?
Very cute.
Very festive.
Yes. And who are we doing it on?
So we're going to Vermont in 2004.
Okay. At least we're not going back to 1919 or something like that.
Yet.
Yet. Oh, God.
I referenced her case during Mara Murray's.
Okay.
Brianna.
Now, Mara Murray is the girl who disappeared in Vermont.
Yes.
She was our first case.
Yes. So this is Brianna Maitland.
Oh, yeah.
So she disappeared right around the same time as Mara.
Okay.
Or like a couple years later. And they believed at the time their cases were connected, but they end up not being connected.
Yes.
So I thought, let's finally do her case. It's also a little bit of a shorter one, so...
Yeah. We're kind of in the middle of the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know when this is actually going to be put up, but
near Christmas,
we're in that holiday right now, and we're getting ready to do our cookies and everything like that. I ordered our prime rib and dessert and potatoes.
Yeah, we're not going to have a whole lot of open time here the next couple
No,
weeks.
We're not. Okay.
So Brianna was born on October 8th, 1986 in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay.
So I also don't know if it's Brianna or Brianna.
Yeah, it's probably Brianna. Depending on where she's from Vermont, it's probably Brianna.
Oh, and it's B-R-I.
Yeah.
I-A-N-N-A.
Probably Brianna.
So her parents were Bruce and Kelly Maitland.
Okay.
I see the white tail, so just be prepared.
Yes.
She was raised with an older brother on their parents' farm in East Franklin, Vermont, which is near the Canadian border.
Okay. Well, it might be Anna.
So, when she was young, she was extensively trained in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
She attended Missisquoi Valley Union High School before transferring to Enosburg Falls High School in nearby Enosburg Falls during her sophomore year.
Okay. Were there problems, or she just...
I think she just transferred.
Okay.
Not a whole lot
of information.
Especially in her youth, at least.
Okay.
And I also tried to find a lot of the shows that were about her, but because of how old the case was, there's not...
Well,
they're harder to find.
That 6, thing on Mara Murray, because it was being looked into
because of the anniversary and all that. But some of these older cold cases, you can't always find those episodes easily, even with streaming.
Yeah. Well, I have found a lot on Dateline or Investigation, Discovery, stuff like that, but you have to know what you're looking for. And sometimes they don't even give you a name. They just say, teen missing or teen, murdered. They'll tell you a city, but that means you have to go through 38 seasons, which have 24 episodes and maybe more per season.
So on her 17th birthday in October 2003, this is when she decided she wanted to move away from her parents' farm to go to a different high school.
Okay.
So her mother did stress that there was nothing serious going on in the home. Brianna just wanted to be more independent.
Okay.
And live closer to a group of friends who lived about 15 miles away.
Okay. Well, if you're in the middle of nowhere, out on a farm, as soon as you can get your license, I would think that you'd want out.
Mm-hmm. So she enrolled at her friend's high school, but her living arrangements were considered unstable.
Okay.
She moved in and out of several of her friends' homes.
Alrighty.
I guess I understand, but living situation. So by the end of February 2004, she dropped out of high school and moved in with her childhood friend, Jillian Stout, in Sheldon, Vermont, approximately 20 miles west of Montgomery. To complete her education, she enrolled in a GED program.
Okay.
So it sounds like she found more problems after she left her parents' farm.
Yes.
So 3 weeks prior to her disappearance, she was physically attacked at a party by a female former friend, Keali Lacrosse.
Okay, so somebody actually beat her up?
Yeah, she physically attacked her.
Okay.
So,
and are you going to tell me why, or is
there was the motive? The motive is unclear. There's no
Alrighty.
reason why. There's not really any reason why. There's speculation, of course.
Okay.
So, though her father, Bruce, later said he believed it stemmed from jealousy over her interaction with a male peer at the party.
That's what I thought it was going to say. I was going to say, was it over a guy?
It usually is.
Yeah. Girls be crazy.
So, one of her friends at the party claimed that Brianna, despite her martial arts training, refused to fight with Lacrosse, who subsequently hit her in the face several times while she was seated in a truck.
Alrighty. So she was probably seated in that guy's truck.
Probably. The altercation resulted in her suffering a broken nose and concussion. She later filed charges against Lacrosse, but was cleared of any involvement. But Lacrosse was cleared of any involvement in her disappearance.
Okay.
So go to Friday, March 19, 2004. So we're a month later.
Okay.
On that morning, she took an exam to receive her GED. After completing the test, she and her mother Kelly had lunch to celebrate the occasion. Her father Bruce was out of state working in New York at the time. Kelly described her daughter as being in good spirits and recalled that Brianna had discussed plans of attending college.
Okay. So her parents must have been happy.
Mm-hmm. So after lunch, they spent the afternoon shopping and running errands. While waiting in the checkout line of a store, Kelly said something outside caught her daughter's attention. She told her mom she would return shortly and left the store. Kelly completed her purchase and met Brianna in the parking lot and noticed that her daughter seemed unnerved, shaken, and agitated.
Alrighty.
Brianna told her mother that she needed to go home and prepare for her upcoming work shift at the Black Lantern Inn, a restaurant in Montgomery.
Okay.
Not wanting to pry, Kelly did not ask what had happened and dropped her off at Stout's home between 3:30 and 4 p.m.
Okay.
This was the last time she saw her daughter. At some point before leaving for her work shift, Brianna left a note for Stout saying she would return after work that evening. Brianna then departed for the Black Lantern Inn in a 1985
Oldsmobile?
Yeah, an Oldsmobile sedan registered to Kelly.
Okay.
After completing her shift at work, she clocked out and left the Black Lantern Inn at approximately 11:20 p.m. So she ended up going to work.
Okay.
She told her coworkers she needed to get home and rest before working the next day at her second job in St. Albans. By all accounts, Brianna was alone in her vehicle when she left.
Okay.
So the next day, so Saturday, March 20th, early the next afternoon, a Vermont State Police trooper was dispatched to an abandoned house on Route 118 in Richford, which is about a mile from the Black Lantern Inn.
Okay.
Her car was found backed into the side of the house, known locally as the old Dutch burn house. The siding of the home had been breached by the rear end of the sedan. A piece of plywood that had been covering a window was laying on the car's trunk. 2 of her paychecks were on the front seat of the car, and outside it, law enforcement observed loose change, a water bottle, and an unsmoked cigarette. Trooper assumed the car had been abandoned by a drunken driver, and a towing company took the vehicle to a local garage.
So they didn't run the plates or...
No, because if they thought it was abandoned by a drunk driver.
Yeah.
A lot of places, smaller places sometimes don't really do that. She was not reported missing for several days.
Her roommate didn't notice?
So Kelly did not learn about the discovery of Brianna's car until 5 days later. Jillian Stout saw Brianna's note on Friday, spent the weekend away, and found the note undisturbed when she returned on Monday. So she assumed Brianna was staying somewhere else. She didn't call Kelly until the following day.
Okay, so we're now at
Tuesday.
and she's been missing since Friday.
At the latest, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So on Tuesday, March 23rd, Kelly began calling various people to find her daughter, including friends as well as her employers, none of whom had seen or spoken to her. Failing in her efforts and still unaware that the vehicle Brianna was driving had been recovered, she filed a missing persons report that day.
Did they match the car up?
So on Thursday, March 25th, her parents gave photos of her to the Vermont State Police in St. Albans. A trooper showed them a picture of the vehicle found at the old Dutchburn house, which they immediately identified as their daughter's.
Alrighty. So they never went into the house, you're telling me?
No, because it was abandoned. Even though the car was backed into the house and damaged the house, the house is, for all intents and purposes, abandoned.
Alrighty. She's going to be in that house, isn't she?
Well, is this when I tell you that this is a cold case with no body?
There's no body?
No. This is a cold case. This is another disappearance.
With no body?
With no body. So
that's why they thought it was the same as Mara.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they thought, so what it was at the time, there was a serial killer being reported in the area. And so Mara disappeared, and then months later, Brianna disappeared. And so that was the whole thing. They ended up realizing they weren't connected. So for people who don't know, there was this string of like 3 years where we have like 15 cases of people who got into like random car accidents and then just disappeared from the car. And it's unsolved. Like Mara, like Brandon Swanson, like Brianna. I have more. For like this short period of time, a lot of these happen in these back roads.
Okay. This is crazy.
Yeah, so I don't think I don't know if I'm assuming they had to search a house at some point.
Well, you would assume.
Yep, you would assume.
Yeah. That was the first place I would have gone after the car was identified and found in an abandoned house. But she could have been there and they could have moved the body.
Mm-hmm. So Kelly said in multiple interviews following this that she was instinctively revulsed by the photo. She believes someone else left the car there and it was not Brianna who left the car there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was anywhere near Brianna living,
but it was 1 mile away from where she worked.
Right.
So after her reported disappearance, there were several individuals that came forward to report sightings of her vehicle at the old Dutchburn house the night she disappeared. So you have a man who drove by the house between 11:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. on March 19th to the 20th said the car's headlights may have been on. He said he did not see anyone in or around the car.
Okay.
A second man who drove by between midnight and 12:30 a.m. on Saturday recalled seeing a turn signal flashing on the car. So you have to realize this car was literally, she left work at 11:20 p.m.
Yeah, so the car was there within half hour.
Within 10 minutes. Because where we're talking about someone drove between the house between 11:30 and 12:30.
So it was in 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So in 2025, private investigator Lou Berry revealed a couple who drove by around midnight witnessed a tall, stocky man standing in front of the vehicle headlights, and later a silver grayish Honda Civic speeding, then braking abruptly at the scene. Around 4 a.m. on Saturday, a former boyfriend of Brianna's drove past the scene after a night of partying across the border in Canada. He thought he recognized the vehicle, but he did not see anyone in or around it. The next morning, some passing motorists found the scene odd enough that they stopped and took pictures of it. One of the photographers reported some loose change, a water bottle, and a bracelet or necklace on the ground next to the car.
Did they call the police?
No.
Wow, people!
So, Vermont State Police, who led the official investigation for the first months after Brianna's disappearance, were skeptical that foul play was involved. considering they considered the possibility that she was a runaway.
Okay, she would have taken her last 2 paychecks.
Also, if I'm running away, I'm not going to leave my car in a very obvious spot. I'm just saying.
No, I'm going to leave it at home, or I'm going to put it in long-term airport parking,
Or I'm
or
going to put it in like a forest, a swamp. I'm going to do something like
yeah,
that.
or drive it into a lake or something
Yeah.
like that, or an alligator-infested swamp.
Mm-hmm. So the old Dutchburn house, the area surrounding it, was combed on foot by police and search dogs, but nothing was found. And I'm assuming by search dogs, I don't think they ran cadaver dogs.
Yeah.
Because if they think she was a runaway, they're not going to run cadaver dogs.
No.
So her vehicle was processed by the state crime lab for evidence on March 30th, 2004, after the car had been impounded at the local garage for several days. So upon the car's return to the family, Bruce noted that his daughter's ATM card, glasses, contact lens case, and migration medication had all been left inside. She's not going to leave those if she was a runaway.
No, she would have cashed her checks.
So it was later concluded by law enforcement that foul play was the probable cause of her disappearance. And a 2007 flyer provided by the FBI stated that the scene at which her car was discovered may have been staged by or to appear as an accident. You think?
Okay. Wow. Wow. I see a lot of wows because I cannot believe what I hear.
I'm sure, I mean, by this point you have heard the Hans Schmidt one. That was a full of wows.
Yeah.
It looks. So her parents have publicly speculated that she may have been difficult for a single assailant to subdue given her jiu-jitsu training. So they're speculating that if she was subdued, it was probably by a very large person.
Or 2.
Or multiple assailants.
Okay, so, but that girl she got into a fight with was cleared.
Yeah. The disappearance of Mara Murray, a college student from Massachusetts in northwest New Hampshire, the month before, was deemed unrelated to her disappearance by law enforcement in spite of the events occurring within 90 miles of each other.
Okay.
So in 2004, her family organized a website. It's now defunct. Yeah.
Okay.
Titled bringbriannahome.org with a posted maximum reward of $20,000 for information leading to her whereabouts. The website was active until at least 2009.
Okay.
So according to a March 2017 article published in the Burlington Free Press, the reward remained available. In June 2007, however, it was reported that the reward was due to expire in early July of that year.
Okay, so it's another one like the Murray one where...
It wasn't rescinded, it just expired.
Okay, done by an insurance company that backs it.
So in the week following her disappearance, Vermont State Police received an anonymous tip claiming that she was being held against her will in a house in nearby Berkshire, which is 10 miles from Montgomery.
Yeah, which was bullshit, I'm positive.
The rented house, then occupied by Ramon L. Ryans and Nathaniel Charles Jackson, 2 known drug dealers from New York, was raided by police on April 15, 2004.
Yeah.
Various drug paraphernalia was discovered inside, as well as substantial amounts of cocaine and marijuana, but no sign of Brianna was found. Ryans was arrested during the raid on drug charges. Upon interviewing Brianna's close friends, law enforcement was informed that Brianna had allegedly experimented with hard drugs in the recent past, specifically crack cocaine, and was an acquaintance of Ryan's and Jackson.
Somebody wanted them busted.
Someone wanted that money.
Yeah.
So in late 2004, police received a statement from an anonymous, quote-unquote, older female who implied both Ryan's and Jackson and Brianna's disappearance and alleged murder. Implicated. Wow, I can read.
Wow.
They signed affidavit contained allegations written in graphic detail that Brianna had been murdered approximately a week after her disappearance. The women who provided the affidavit claimed that Ryans murdered her during an argument over money she had lent him to purchase crack, and that her body had been temporarily stored in the basement of a recently incarcerated local woman's house. Brianna's body was then allegedly dismembered with a table saw and disposed of on a pig farm. Law enforcement was unable to corroborate the claims in the letter. Which, yeah, you can't really do that with a pig farm. Actually, you
No.
could, because they don't eat the teeth.
Yeah. But which pig farm?
Yeah, considering it's Vermont.
Yeah. Which pig farm?
hmm the Maitland family additionally reported that they had received several uncorroborated anonymous phone calls from persons claiming Brianna was quote unquote tied to a tree in the woods and that she had been disposed of at the bottom of a lake.
Which lake?
hmm
It's Vermont.
hmm
It's like saying Michigan. Which lake?
So in 2006, security footage at the Caesars Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, showed a woman resembling Brianna sitting at a poker table. The woman was never properly identified.
Yeah. But if she was using one of those player cards, they'd know right away.
hmm
But I guess the player cards weren't as. Yeah, they were big.
In 2006?
Yes.
In Atlantic City?
Yes.
I thought it was more of a Las Vegas thing.
Well, I don't know about that, but Las Vegas, they were big.
2012, law enforcement investigated a potential connection between Brianna's disappearance and Israel Keys, a serial killer who committed numerous rapes and murders in Alaska, Oregon, and Washington, as well as in Vermont and New York, where he owned property in Constable. The FBI ruled out his potential connection to Brianna's disappearance in late December 2012, shortly after Keys died by suicide in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay. Then he probably wasn't there during the time.
Well, he was the one who they suspected in Mara's case.
Oh.
Because, like I said, they occurred within 90 miles of each other. It's not impossible to say that he could have been when he was in Vermont, could have killed her.
Yeah.
So, in March 2016, on the case's 12th anniversary, investigators revealed to a local television station they had recovered DNA samples from Brianna's car. The results of the DNA test were not made public. In July 2016, the old Dutchburn house where Brianna's vehicle had been discovered was destroyed in a fire. I don't know, it sounds to me like someone's trying to cover up something.
Sounds like that to me.
So, in March 2022, Vermont State Police revealed they have found a match to the DNA sample found in the car. The identity of the person has not been released, although officials did say it belonged to one of 11 people they tested previously in connection to Brianna's disappearance, and that person has been very cooperative and spoken to us.
So it could have been somebody that was a friend of hers
Mm-hmm.
that drove her car. It could have been a roommate. It could have been anybody.
Because they never revealed exactly where they found the DNA sample.
Yeah, it could have been on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been on the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been on the seat adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking if it was in the and it could have been in the passenger seat.
Could have been the back.
Yeah, it could have been anywhere.
So, where the case stands today.
Okay.
So, in 2004, the FBI and Vermont State Police announced a reward of up to $40,000 for information to locate Brianna, with Craig Tremoroli, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Albany field office, stating, "This reward money today is for information leading to her recovery. Someone out there may have information that can help solve this case. It's been too long and it's time to come forward." Matthew Birmingham of the Vermont State Police additionally stated, "This is not a cold case, it's an unsolved case."
Oh, okay.
So, we're in 2025. That is the last piece of information we have about this case.
Okay. So, if you guys know anything, you need to call. You need to contact the FBI. You need to call Vermont State Police.
And there are still people that believe that Mara Murray and her case is connected.
Yeah. It definitely kind of sounds like it. But they still think Mara Murray was in that house with those people. But that was from cadaver dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Peyton and I don't think that they took cadaver dogs over to that Dutchman house. But we could be wrong. So, I mean, if you know more about this case, let us know, because we like knowing more information, and we always catch people up and say, oh, we heard this, or somebody knows more about it than we do. And, we like being educated. Are you reading to see if there's anything else?
So a lot of people are saying that they think this is the one of the cases that police know who did it, but they just don't have enough to prosecute them. And
Well,
that's what it
it's
sounds like.
possible.
That's kind of what it sounds like too.
Yeah, it's possible. We've talked about this. There's cases out there all the time where
Mm-hmm.
people they've got matches, they've got everything, but there's something missing that they can't do anything about.
Oh, okay. So the DNA. So rumor is the match was to. So apparently the ex-boyfriend's story has changed slightly. So apparently originally he said that he noticed the car, he stopped, turned the headlights off on the car and locked the car up. So they're saying that the DNA that was found was from him. And sadly he has actually passed away.
Oh,
So if he was connected to it,
no way
it
they're
went to
going to
the
get the
grave.
information. Not unless some hikers come across her remains. That's how they're finding people these days.
I mean, then you have Callie, who she got into a physical altercation. She was arrested in 2013 for DUI, and she was driving a Honda Civic,
Wow, that's interesting.
which is what they said was speeding and stopped hard by her car that night. Apparently, it was a DUI with an infant in the car.
So she goes from beating up her friend to driving drunk with a kid in the car. I'm sorry, an infant in the car. She's a winner.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going with the drug theory that she was killed because of the drug debt.
I don't okay, so hear me out. Wouldn't you rather have the money than kill the person? I mean, you're never going to get your money back if you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, make them work it off. Figure out a way to get them to pay. But you killing them does nothing.
No, I don't know.
Break their knees. Do something.
Kneecap them.
Yeah, kneecap them.
I don't know. I think it's definitely one of those cases where police know who did it, but they can't prosecute them.
Yeah, it's possible. And if it was the ex-boyfriend, he's dead. So,
But the I understand I understand the whole drug part of it because of the fact that she apparently dabbled in hard drugs.
But she dabbled.
But what is considered dabbling? Did she just start? Has she been doing it off and on?
Yeah.
So what is considered dabbling?
That's true.
And it's also easy. I'm sorry, you're from Montgomery. You're from Alabama. I'm assuming you're not from a major metropolis city like Seattle, Los Angeles, Sacramento, San Francisco, even Portland, Dallas. I don't think they're as exposed.
Yeah, in Vermont,
as I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this.
It's just you're not as street smart as you would be if you were in a metropolitan city.
Or even the suburbs of a metropolitan city.
Yes.
Because I went to school with drug dealers.
Yeah, and so did I.
Considering like Auburn was back when I was in high school, back when Alita and Jenna were in high school, we went to school with drug dealers.
Okay.
Hardcore drug dealers.
Your dad went to a high school that had a metal detector in the 1980s. Come on.
I'm sorry. I went to a posh high school. We were considered a pothead posh high school where we had bomb threats on the regular.
Yeah. So it just, if you're not going to a large high school, you may not understand the drug dealing.
How it works.
There's drugs everywhere.
There is. And I'm not saying that. But I don't think she was as street smart from the sounds of it. She went through a lot of hardships.
Yeah.
That I have to recognize and all that. But I don't think she is as street smart when it came to the reality of how the drug world worked.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think we've covered everything. But you definitely need to let us know if you know more about it.
I want to hear your guys' theories.
Yeah, especially if you have a suspect. Definitely want to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like maybe the ex-boyfriend, but we don't know.
What's sad is that one, what happened that night, what he actually happened that night with him is gonna go went to the grave.
Yeah. So, and he changed his story, which always bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes wonder if they change their story because they don't want to be in trouble. You know, it's not that they've actually done something wrong. They just don't want to be in trouble.
No, and so from what it sounds like, he was drunk. He had been partying across the border.
Yeah.
And he was drunk when they were coming back. And so I don't know if he was drunk driving or if it sounds like he was a passenger though.
Yeah. So,
So
uh,
I can't foresee what he could be potentially get in trouble for.
yeah, I don't know. Okay. So, we're done for today. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you soon, babe.
See you soon.